And I'll start the recording again. I'll just change the ticker. Populous 2. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to jump straight into Populous 2. Here we go. Oh, I don't have it in windowed. Well, there we go. In the beginning. Okay, what an amusing little intro. Can I put this full screen? No, I cannot. Well, I'm actually just going to restart this so that I can get into a bit of a larger window. I apologize for this. Okay. Full screen. False. Windows resolution. I'll just go 800, 600. Probably not appropriate, but it will do for the moment. Okay, and I'm gonna have to resize this. I apologize. There we go. It's probably not pixel perfect. Trust me, that irritates me a little bit. Okay, after that delightful little introduction, this is Populous 2. We can already see that it's got a bit more personality than the first one. So, Populous 2. Trials of the Olympian Gods. This is, if I was to play any of them, either Populous 1 or 2, Populous 2 would be the one, just because there is quite a bit more to do in it. You create your own deity here. And you have, the friggin', that's no good. Different. It's got different, like, what's it called? It's got different resolutions based on different menus. Well, okay, so Populous 2 has a deity creator where you create your avatar or your deity. These are the different spell groups which you have. I think this is like people, nature, earth spells, I suppose, air spells, fire and water. Which there's a lot of different spells compared to the first game, which are split up into these. And we have the look of our deity here, which you can change. And from what I've read and what I know, this actually impacts the game. The manual mentions that if you have a more fierce and warlike looking deity, then the game will take the form of more of a combat focused game. But if you take the form of more of a scholarly god, then it will be more of strategy, I suppose, and more like cunning. I don't know exactly what that does. I do have a deity. Here's Mech 4. Been putting a lot of points into nature. I think this really just lowers the cost of the spells for that group. So we'll continue from there as we did, as I've been doing. I have played a bit of this. I'm a few levels in. So we'll go Conquest, number 67. Akupad. Landscape is winter. Here we have these effects. So we have raise lower. You can actually click on them now and it will tell you about the spells. Lets you alter land on the close-up map. Left click to raise land, right click to lower it. Sprog worshippers from their homes for faster population growth by right clicking on a dwelling. This is what was mentioned during Populous 1, which I did just before this one. Populous 2 has the ability to sprog worshippers from the settlements. As it says, you right click on it and it will spit out a villager and it will go and actually look to populate or settle another building. Whereas in Populous 1, you're at the mercy of the bar and you have to wait for the bar to fill up until a villager pops out. That's still a thing in Populous 2, so they will eventually go out and settle on their own, but sprogging just helps make it a bit faster. In some worlds, a blue flag must be on the screen before you can raise or lower land. This is what we were encountering in Populous 1, where you can only raise lower terrain near your settlements. From my experience with Populous 2 so far, raise lower anywhere at sea level, raise lower anywhere on map. It's more lenient in that, I think. It's a little difficult for me to tell this. Is that saying we can't do that? Can't raise lower opponent's land. No. Can't raise land. Can't lower land. No. So apparently we can do those things. So we can't raise anywhere on the map. We can't raise lower anywhere at sea level. I get confused by this kind of stuff. Water is fatal. So we also have our pulpal magnet. Just this big thingy now, rather than the Yunk. It does the same thing as in Populous 1. Your people are attracted to it, depending on various settings. We can also place trees around your settlements to improve your popularity. I don't know what that does. I assume possibly it makes people generate more mana. That's my earliest assumption. Let's have a look. Doesn't have a thing about population. Popularity. Oh, here we go. It actually mentions with the rules. Raise lower anywhere on map. If it's a tick, you can raise and lower land regardless of whether a settlement is in view on close-up map. Or cross, you can only raise and lower land when a settlement is in view on the close-up map. Okay, does it have anything about the popularity? Creating many big settlements is vital to the growth of your population. Your power. Initially, your settlements are small tents and huts. I don't know whether it has anything. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. about who designed, created, conceived, and programmed Populous II. That's right, those sexy guys at Bullfrog Productions Limited. Left click on this option for more information. Right, so we can create trees. We can also create roads. Lay down paved roads for your people to walk on. To create a road, left click on this icon, move your cursor to an area on the close-up map, then left click again to lay down a section. Right click to remove a section. Okay, I don't know what that does. Maybe they adhere to the roads a bit more often. Help requested. This is Armageddon, which does the same thing as it did before. We have Fire Column. You can immediately see that the spells are a fair bit more interesting in Populous 2 than Populous 1. Ignites a dancing column of fire to burn out your opponent's people. To ignite one, left click on this icon. Move your cursor to the close-up map, then left click again. We also have access to this. This is a hero unit, I think they're called. Achilles. Convert your leader into Achilles, who runs across the land, burning everything in his path. To convert your leader, left click on the icon. I kind of like how abstract the heroes for the most part look. So they are just kind of nude men running around the place. His head's on fire. Or if his head is just a mass of fire. We also have access to Whirlpool. Create a whirlpool in the sea. And yeah. So, okay, well, we will start. And our god we're against is Prometheus. And here we go. There was a little yay there. The layout is actually fairly the same. I'll just lower the cycles, because it runs quite fast in this mode. How's it looking on the thing? Fine. Okay. We can see up here. Very flickery. Yeah. That's very flickery in this as well. We can see here's the auto map up here. This is the map view down here as well. Again, we have different spells are grouped by the type of spell they are. So we have Raise Lower Land, Pulpal Magnet, Armageddon under the Villager, Trees under the tree, Roads underneath the World one. We don't have any spells under Air. I think that's things like Lightning. We have Fire Column and Achilles underneath the fire. And we have Whirlpool under the water. So, yes. I think this might be an indicator of what level we can cast spells up to. Over here we have a Colosseum. This is the determinator of how populous we are compared to our opponent. So if I flatten the land, not there, we'll be able to make more space for our people to build larger houses, as we were doing in the first game. So that's the same. So it is looking a bit nicer. Also, we have over here, move to Pulpal Magnet, you know, settle new areas, go to fight, merge together. The query button, which brings up the settlement and shows you the level of the settlement. These flags raise and lower. I suppose you could think of these flags in terms of like 1s, 10s, 100s. So this flag over here is going like up to the top, and then it's going like whoop, 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 whoop. And then this one goes up every time this reaches the top. And then when this one reaches up, this one will go up again. And it will keep doing that, I think, until it goes all the way along. We can see here a tiny little person. And there's another one over here. This Colosseum fills up as our population grows. It's a gauge on how many people we have. Don't know what the hand is. And we can see different settlements. So they're growing in power as it goes across. We also have here the game requester, which is, you know, settings. The speed of the game can be modified here, which is usually a good thing to put it down a little bit. Computer speed. I don't know what that does. Maybe it slows down the computer player. Anyway, Also, if we press F7, I think it is, yes, we can change the view screen. I'll actually have to increase the cycles for this. And this is primarily the view which I've been playing from, because it's just a lot easier. This is cool, but your view is very limited. Also, it plays very fast under this. Because I suppose just because there's less being displayed. I'm gesturing at the screen like you can see it, but because there's less of the map being displayed, it runs a lot faster. Go to this view. It runs a bit slower, which is more manageable. But you can see a lot more of the map, and this actually makes you more effective, because you can see further from your settlement to raise lower terrain. So I don't really know why you wouldn't play in this screen, because it makes you more effective as a god. If you were limited to raising lowering terrain. See, we can't raise lower because we're too far away. Now we can. But yeah, the mechanics stay the same for the most part. Just raise lower terrain, make more terrain for your people to settle on. There's nice trees, which we can plant more of, which is nice. There's no music again. Or rather, actually, there is no music at all, as far as I understand. As far as I know. I don't think there's even the option to toggle music on and off. The Populous is a very quiet game. Not like Populous at the beginning. That has a very nice soundtrack. And constant sound of, like, kookaburras. Which is weird. But yeah, we flattened the land. There's also... Once you get tired of doing this, you have the nice option of putting the computer assist on. Which means that the computer will do all that work for you. And lower the land, and the AI will actually flatten out the land for your settlers to settle on automatically. Which is nice. Though it does make it a bit easy. See? The AI is expanding their territory over there for me. You can struggle with it a bit. Sometimes, though. I think I've got more dudes across the water. Yeah, we've got another little settlement over here. It's covered in rocks. I have to sink the rocks into the water. There's actually different appearing settlers. We have this guy in armor here. This guy here. This girl here. And you also have old men. I don't know what that means. Is it just visual? Are they different? Hey, stop that. Are they different power levels? Who knows? It's a mystery. Or perhaps I didn't read the manual. That is more likely. So, you can see I'm sort of fighting against the AI here, because it keeps wanting to raise the terrain which the houses are on. Or flatten out the terrain which the houses are on, but... I don't think there's any... Actually, I'm not going to say that. Because I don't know. Oh, there's another house over there. On an island covered in rocks. So yeah. Seems like more of the same. It is. Let's see. It just sink the rocks. Though, as I said, it is a bit more involved this than the previous ones. Or than previous Populous. because you can do things like this. Hey, I don't like your settlements. Go away. It's quite indirect with your spells, they just wander around on their own, which is kind of neat in a way. Why can't I cast that more? Whatever. Let's create some paths. I don't... Like, do the roads make it easier for them to walk around on? I don't know. They're not really... They seem to move faster when they're walking on the roads. So maybe response time goes up. Or maybe it's just for aesthetic reasons. So it does seem to stop them from settling the area as densely as they were before. I don't know. Placing trees makes trees pop up out of the ground. And I said that I suppose that increases your popularity, but I don't know what popularity entails. Does it mean that they produce walkers faster? Oh, I didn't show off the sprogging. The AI will be doing it automatically because they're on assist mode. You can see they've been filling out the map up here the whole time. But if you sprog, you just right-click on the center of the settlement, and a person will pop out. And they'll go and search for an area to populate, or to settle. There we go. Right, so we can also... Oh! AI's cast a whirlwind. So the AI is being a bit aggressive. Let's burn some of their land. There we go. We'll want to place the pulpal magnet down. I said... Place the pulpal magnet down. Because once we have enough mana to do so. Where is my pulpal magnet? There it is. Okay, I can move it now. So if I move it over to here, everyone will start... Well, they'll actually start moving to my leader. As my leader marches across the terrain. My leader is the one with the little sun icon next to it. Like the Ankh in the previous game. In Populous 1. And they'll move to the purple icon. And then I'll be able to create a Achilles to attack the enemy. Which the heroes, there's a variety of different heroes depending on the magic lore which they come from, or the magic school which they come from. And they have different effects, so there's a bit more variety there, instead of just knight, which is nice. You can douse these by making water underneath the flame column. But yeah, you see this large fire appearing underneath my purple icon. What's that? It'll create an Achilles. Ooh. Rather intimidatingly. rather frightfully. March over to the enemy and start beating them up. And we get enjoyable little sounds of combat. We can create another one. And we can create some whirlpools as well. How about we do that? Can't lower the land over here, so we have to create them out in the water here. Whirlpools move around randomly. However, if they don't go off the map, that is, they do remove terrain when they move over terrain. They eat away at it. And they cause people to sink. Ah, blah blah blah. Yes, we don't actually have that many spells in this level. Just create a whole bunch of Achilles. I don't remember Achilles from the epics having a head which is on fire. Maybe it was a detail which is not often mentioned. I'd like to know why they thought that. Okay, create one more. Also, how about we tell everyone to go and attack? So we'll just come out of their houses and start beating up everyone nearby. Oh, you can also see the AI here is raising and lowering the land to get rid of the damaged terrain. Which is nice of them. His head being on fire turned out to be his Achilles heel. No! What's the thing from Wizard of Oz? What a world! Who would have ever thought that a small amount of water would ever land on me? Actually, I think that's from Futurama. I'm melting, I'm melting. I don't know why my mind went to that. Because his head was being extinguished by water. Here we go. So, yeah, if I put pulpo icon. No, I can't place it anywhere. Where is it? Oh, there. Is it? No, the AI is not taking control of it for me. I've turned off the AI control, by the way, so it won't be raising and lowering the land and making it unburnt. This is damaged terrain. And you just do this to make it all better. In Populous the beginning, it's a thing as well. You can't build on damaged terrain, though it does eventually turn back to normal. I don't believe you can sink it into the water to get rid of it. You might be able to. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've played the game. Oh! See that rock trying to escape from its watery fate. Okay, go to pulpo icon. I want more Achilles. You can see they've actually done a pretty good job. They're very relentless. You just lower the land underneath the villagers. No! Ah. Eventually the AI gives up and allows you to just sink the villager. Oh, can we do Armageddon? Yep, there we go. Everyone becomes a variety of different heroes and marches off to war. 179 days. We had the largest population, we had the largest mana. We won 133 battles. The number of battles the enemy won is 1. We get a little scene here at the end with Prometheus over there staring at us. And we also get an indicator with those lightning bolts of how many experience points we gained. The experience points are given depending on the score you get at the end of the level. I think it's, from watching other people, I believe it's every 13,000 points. So you sort of want to hang around and cast a lot of spells to be able to get more experience points. But of course, I believe also the more experience, the higher your score, the more levels you'll jump ahead. So we also get an animation of little people on shells. This is what it looks like behind the scenes. So yes, we have the 3 experience points and we can place them into these different areas to, I believe, lower the cost of our spells. Fire spells were quite expensive, so I'll increase that. I think you can also, I haven't tried it, but you can also apparently change the look of your god. Which maybe you could, like, change the style of the game as you play along. Interesting. You want to save it every time you do that, so that it keeps up. And we'll continue. And we'll go to Conquest game. Battle at Aminab, number 73. What were we on before? 68 or something? The landscape is barren, with these effects. Raised lower, purple trees. We have roads, which we saw. We also have this. Build city wall. Ooh, I haven't actually seen this. Build a wall around your cities for protection. To build a wall, left-click on this icon, move your cursor to an area on the close-up map, then left-click again to place a section. New city walls must stem from an established city wall. Okay. We have Earthquake. Earthquake. Destroy enemy land with a mighty earthquake. You can already see it looks a lot better than it does in Populous 1. Fire columns and Achilles. And it's about the same as it was before. We can see opponent is Prometheus, which I didn't show off before. Titan of Forethought, who is both very slow and sleepy. So they're not very good at doing anything. Gave the gift of fire to man and was punished by Zeus. He had his liver torn out every day by a giant eagle. I think that's just like fluff. Just like, oh, this is who that guy is. I don't think Prometheus was ever a god. I think he was just a dude. Anyway. I suppose that shows how low on the godly totem pole we are. Because we're fighting all this to be able to get a position in Olympus next to our father Zeus, who, in his promiscuity, fathered many children. We are one, and we're trying to prove ourselves to him by going through the trials of the Olympian gods to get our position on Olympus. So we'll proceed. And we see again, it's a barren landscape. I'll go into widescreen or full screen. And we start again. Raising and lowering the terrain. With little houses dotting the land. A lot of rocks over there. Where's our opponent? Oh, there they are. I wish it was a bit easier to see who's who on this map. Might be a little blurry on the feed, but they're both, as far as I can see, they're both flashing white icons. The bad ones, I think, are flashing between white and black, but that's not really helpful for me. I'm not currently playing this in full screen, so. It's a bit harder to see than normal. Okay. Make a larger settlement. I command you. Yay! Look at the size of that. Grand settlement. Again, I do have my issue from it before, where just from the same issue I had in Populous 1, where it's just like, because your settlements expand when terrain is flat around them, you end up just creating a large, flat, featureless landscape, which is really kind of boring. I wish there was some bonuses based on, like, different terrain types. But then the game, I suppose, would be moving more into a city management game than a god sim, but I don't know. It would be neat if you had different, like, villager types. Not to the extent of Populous the beginning. But maybe you could have, like, oh, this settlement is actually a military-focused settlement, because I don't know. It's located near to rocks, which actually have ore in them, so they have a easier access to swords. So they have a higher combat capability than normal villagers, but to counteract that, because the settlement's smaller, they don't expand as fast. Though that might be too small for this game. I mean, the game's not really that nuanced. I feel it would a lot of that detail would be kind of pointless. I'm just looking for reasons to have more varied landscape, because I'd like to see more hills and so on all around the place, rather than just flat land. Like hills, then you'd be able to, like, grow grapevines on them. What's that do? I don't know. I think the large settlements also expand slower. I'm not too sure. That seems to be the case. There's those two up there. Okay, people. I know you've settled on a hillside, but it's inefficient. That might actually be the downside of flattening the land out. It might mean that they expand outwards less often. I shall have to see whether I can find a video of Populous, which is played by someone who grew up playing it, or who knows a lot about it. Sorry, I'm thinking aloud here. Repetitive tasks, and my mouth is wandering, or my mind is wandering. I don't mind the gameplay of this. Neither of Populous 1, though I do enjoy Populous 2 more. It's got more going on for it. Not that we're seeing much of that at the moment, but you know, the spells and all that are quite a bit more involved than they were in the first one. Okay. So we have that again. I can't cast it again. We can create walls. So if I, like, do this, I suppose you could, like, sculpt the landscape like this. And then flatten it outside of it. That way they're not settling right in the place where I'm going to place the wall. I mean, in Populous at the beginning, if you create... Well, your house is now in a wall. In Populous at the beginning, if you create a large hill, it actually impedes movement. Your people can't walk up it because it's too steep. Or it can get to a point where it's too steep. Oh, that's nice. It creates little towers. It's pretty cool. I also like that it has a sort of animation of it just forming out of nothing. Can I delete it and wait. Oh. Oh. Actually, you can't actually change the land once a wall's on it. Interesting. Maybe an earthquake deals with it. Well, let's show off an earthquake. Don't have enough mana for an earthquake. Yeah, I know what the problem is. I'm just not sprogging my settlements. Sprog. I believe it's an English word. Like a British word, rather. It's not one I'm familiar with. I've never heard of the term sprog in Australian English. I think it means... I don't know. I don't really know what it means. I assume it means, like... to create a child or something, but... You can call a baby a sprog? Ah, okay. I don't know what it has to do with this game. I suppose that's what it means. It's like you're creating children from your settlement by sprogging out a child or something. We can see an earthquake. Let's do so. Blah! That's pretty cool. Creates a large chasm, and people will fall into that and they'll die. Which is always fun. Hey! Oh, he's created a lightning storm to attack me. Don't have access to that. Stop that. It's mean. Oh. The sounds of death. I feel like later levels would be more about who can, like, click the fastest. I think that's the opponent's constantly sinking into the earthquakes I cast. Okay. Let's put the computer assist on. So I don't know whether they'll actually be able to... They're stuck and they're doing a shimmy on my wall. Let's get rid of this wall. I don't know whether the enemy will be able to destroy the wall or not. Maybe? Apparently they can build houses through walls, which seems to kind of defeat the purpose of the wall. Why have they got that settlement there? Stop that! Okay, where's Earthquake? I am displeased. Oh. Whoops. Welp. We'll just clean this up. Sorry, folks. Oh, it did destroy the wall. Okay, that's pretty cool. There's another way you can mess with the AI. You just build massive mountains in their territory. Because they can't house on them. And they're forced to relocate. There we go. Go to Purple Magnet. Stop that! That's my settlement, that is. Thank you, AI. Please deal with that. I like the ruins at least behind. Again, I kind of wish there was a bit more to them rather than just it being a ruin. Like, maybe... I don't know. Maybe they could, like... spawn... neutral creatures, eventually. Which harass, like, just anyone who comes nearby. That would have a purpose for the heroes to go out and to defeat the, creatures. Anyway. Yes. Sorry. It irritates me to no end that they're not obeying the rules of my, walls. But they're just building settlements through the walls. Why? Stop that! It don't look nice. Ah! No, I don't want you to go into the settlement. Go over to the Purple Magnet. It's magnetic. Magnetic! It attracts you! There you go. And... Achilles! How's our terrain going? It's fine. And there. There. No. Yay. I think the AI assist changes its like, or it changes its like directive based on what you're doing at the moment. Yay! You chucked him up into the air. That reminds me, Populous at the beginning, the fight animations are really enjoyable. It's just like kicking, punching, and pushing each other around. And the punch noises. Very enjoyable. It's like, it's that cartoony sort of... Burn the landscape. I rain down godly fire upon you. Can we stick some trees somewhere? Sure. Rise from the ground. What's that doing there? Roads? Maybe that's a benefit of roads. As I said, it might be a benefit of roads, actually. Like, being able to get your villagers to get to the Purple Magnet faster. But so far, the game doesn't seem to be that, like, you know, oh, I need to do things that quickly. This is really different from the SNES version. I mean, within reason. I can kind of imagine, I think a number of games which are on the NES and SNES are rather different from their PC versions. I don't know which one came first. I kind of assumed the PC version. But... I do kind of think the AI assist makes things a bit too easy. This version is better. I have to see whether I can see a video of the SNES version. I didn't actually know there was a SNES version. Hmm. Did the SNES version have, like, music or anything in it? It seems like something which it would have. Unless it was just like an attempt at a straight port of the game. Why am I sinking the rocks around their building, around their settlement? Blah! Everyone move away! Oh, you think so? It's been like 15 years since I played it. Okay, fair enough. What? You don't remember? What is this? I never had a SNES growing up. One of my friends did. I think the only games I remember on it were maybe Mario Kart. I remember he had Hook. That's about it. So, I don't think I played on it very often. Some amazing games. I think the Aladdin game on the SNES was pretty good, wasn't it? I remember playing a PC version of that game. Or am I just thinking of the PC version? But yes, I know a lot. Mario RPG is quite good. Mario Kart. Donkey Kong Country, I suppose. Was on the SNES. I never played Donkey Kong Country. The visuals never really appealed to me. I don't know why. No, I do know why. Because they looked like they were made from 3D models and they were sprites. It never sat well with me. Donkey Kong still looks good now. Don't let me try and convince you otherwise. It's just something I've always had about it. It's just like, I don't know, the visuals to me just always looked a bit... I don't know. I said something about, like, the 3D models turned into sprites. It never looked that good to me. But it does look... the backgrounds and all that look nice. As I said though, I never grew up with the SNES. The first console I had was the Nintendo 64. I think I would have been old enough to have a SNES when it came out, but I just didn't have one. So I was primarily a PC gamer. Still am. Is everyone dead yet? The enemy all dead. We might do one more mission after this. Oh. He's on that little island! Get out of there, old man. I'll deal with you this way. Come on, come on. Down you go. There we go. Oh, there's still someone else. Oh. What is this? Blah blah blah. And you. Hey! How many points did we get for that? 3! Oh, I'm kind of surprised at that. Okay. What should we put them in? Let's put them into world. You also get this password at the bottom. So I suppose you could, like, call up anyone's game if you just put the password in. Which is kind of neat. Yeah, sure. One more game. Battle at Limat. Number 79. The landscape is sludge. With these effects. I wonder how... Anyway. Looks to be much the same. Though we do actually have, another hero. Heracles. Convert your leader into Heracles, a man of legendary for his superhuman strength. So, and he's running around in a nutty. Oh well. He can do as he wishes. So yes, let's flatten the land out here. suppose by sludge it means like swampland. Come on. Hop out of your houses. That really does help with speeding things along. So you have to be careful to click on the center of the building, otherwise you can just lower the terrain underneath it and they're suddenly like, hey, where'd my house go? And there, and there, and there. Yep. Oh. And can't forget you. We live on our own island. Not anymore. Soon you'll be living in a vast, featureless plain. It'll be like what's it called? Central America, won't it? Or the, like, some of the countryside in Australia. Or the deserts. Can't really say anywhere near here, because there's the terrain around Melbourne is all very... It's rather hilly, so... Oh. Okay. Get off that hill. Oh, it's my view. I suppose the AI would be sprogging at settlements all the time, so you kind of have to use that new mechanic. I suppose, actually, I think in some levels you can't actually sprog. So you would just have to wait for your people to pop out of the buildings on their own. I kind of like the idea that the game would be sort of... It will give you all these tools to mess around with at the beginning, and then you get used to them, and then it's like, right, now let's see how you do without them. You're like, oh. It would be interesting to play a level where you can't actually, like, raise and lower the landscape. You'd be right down to sort of having to win individual fights for terrain against the AI. I wonder whether it does that. I suppose so. It seems to be an option in the levels. No, those levels are horrible. Oh dear. Well. I suppose you're just sitting there waiting for stuff to happen. It's like I woke some ancient visceral memory from the depths of the mind. Oh god, I'd forgotten that. Oh no, what are you saying, you fool? You know not what you wish. The ones where you can only raise land, can't lower it. Oh, that's interesting. One misclick and your whole game is ruined. Ugh. Yeah, right. That didn't occur to me that it actually does say whether you can raise and lower land separately. So, that would, yeah, you'd really have to, like, pay careful attention. I wonder how the AI assistant would work with that. Would it just, like, raise the land indiscriminately and mess everything up? You might have to do it all by hand. Like, I can imagine, if I do this, then it's just like, ah, crap. Gotta, like, carefully raise it without raising it too far. Ah, crap. There's a hill I can't get rid of. Oh! Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that. That's how frequently I'm misclicking. It's because you have to sort of aim at, like... You see, like, there's like a square here. But it's like this point is the point in between these four squares. So you're raising that point. Then you're raising this point. Then you're raising that point. You're not raising, like, a square there. I seem to remember there was a button to auto-level land for a castle, and it did like we do, raise up more than lower, so it basically broke the level. Okay. Oh, right. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I understand that. So it's a spell which does what I'm doing, where it's like, or which you do, which is like, you know, raise, 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 lower, 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 then flatten it. But if it can't lower the land, yeah, it just creates a mountain. Oh. Interesting. I see that. Watch how simply your tools become hindrances. I can't imagine Zeus would have the patience for all that. Sod would probably just, I don't know. Get other people to do it for him. Other gods to do it for him. Or just throw a massive fit. Like, toss everyone into the ocean because he's Zeus, and that was the kind of stuff he did, I think. I haven't been sprogging. Well, people seem to be doing well enough on their own, honestly. Oh, right, yeah, there was apparently a bit of a situation here. What if there's like a make land verdant? Okay, I haven't actually looked up all the spells because I kind of want to keep them as a surprise for when I get to them. Purple magnet, move to it, and we'll actually put on the computer A assistant because it also sprogs, and that will get all my people moving towards the purple magnet faster. I don't have to go around the settlements going sprog, 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 sprog. Come on, you lazy bones, get out there. This massive cloud of people descending on the land. I mean, the walls really look more like aqueducts to me. You can't actually make them go up hillsides. Come on. There we go. It's like placing walls in Caesar 3. Can you click and drag? Nope. It irritates me you can't cap it off easily. You have to create another wall, and then it'll create a tower. Heracles, go! Oh, and I like that they call him Heracles rather than Hercules. Get out of here. Whoa! Because one is the Greek name and the other is the Roman name. Okay, what do we got? Burn! Whoa. Foolish sods. You cannot stand against me. I control fire, earth, and other stuff. Roads! I control the power of roads, behold! As I pave your driveway! Nevermore shall you sleep easy, for all the traffic will be passing by your house. I can only place roads while my buildings are in review. Curses, I've been foiled again. Now, the big question, if I put a wall over a road, will it create a little... It does! It creates a little gatehouse! Oh, that's awesome. That is so cool. Maybe I'm a bit too enthused by that, but that's a nice little thing. I suppose actually you could just place the walls outside of the lighter areas, and that way your settlements won't shrink. Again though, I wish you could cap them off with a tower. Do I just click on it again maybe? No. Well, whatever. That makes it look like a proper settlement. That's kind of cool. Though it does limit your expansion. Does he have to go out the gate, or can he just march over the walls? Heroes can just march over walls, apparently. Or maybe my walls don't inhibit my people, because there are all these little arches in them. Can I place a road and create another, what's it called, gatehouse wherever I place it? Oh, actually, yeah, that's... Do I have to do the same thing with the roads? Stick it outside of the... I do! Okay. So it's not like based on order. The roads go up mountain. I'm messing around with these mechanics. Like, can I make it go up onto a flat plateau? Where is it? There. Will you go up? You do! Neat. We'll create a little countryside. That's adorable. That is annoying though. I just noticed that if you create like an intersection and then you delete it, it still looks like a T-section. You have to get rid of it again. Yeah, putting that road there has made that settlement smaller than it would normally be. So, that way you're able to create it and make it bigger. Damn it. Oh, T-sections. Oh. Doesn't even if you do that. They don't seem to really adhere to roads. Do they prefer walking on roads? Maybe. Maybe you could, like, plan out a city early on if you went to the effort of placing roads everywhere. How's the enemy settlement? Fuck him up! Oh, I like how random the spells are. It's just like, oh, I've just put an earthquake here. Oh, whoops! It went off the map! Welp. Or like that time when I cast it and it actually ruined part of my own settlement. Like, oh dear. It feels very godlike. You have forces at your command, but you can't necessarily control them. It's just like a little happy house there. It displeases me. Yeah, apparently my people can just go through the walls whenever. Oh right, I have the AI assist on. I was wondering, why is that mountain going away? It's ruining my roads. It seems like the AI assist doesn't try to get rid of roads, but if it lowers the land or raises the land as it's doing there, it will actually remove the roads. You can see there a bit of a problem in that the AI was like, oh, there's a settlement on a hillside here. I'm going to flatten the landscape so that the settlement can be larger. That means expanding the mountain. Yay! We might get 4 for that. Ooh, we got 5. How'd I get so many? I suppose maybe casting roads and walls counted. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Save. Yep. How are we going for time? Yeah, fine. Well, what is the next level like? Itu Sack. 85. I think we jumped ahead like 6 or 7 levels there. The landscape is sludge. With these effects. Same. Oh, we can create flowers. Grows flowers around your settlements to improve your popularity and mana. Trees apparently just improve my popularity. I just still don't know what that means. Grow forest. Earn popularity points by planting trees around your settlements. Renew land. Renew damaged land with greenery and flowers. Oh, fine. People are happy on a beautiful landscape, so increase your popularity points by planting this greenery around your settlements. Yeah. There's only 2 instances in the entire manual mentioning popularity, and neither of them explain actually what popularity is. At least from what I'm finding when I did a, search in the PDF file. Okay, game. I might have to look that up. I assume it does something like makes them populate faster, so they spit out walkers faster. And then with the flowers, it increases the mana generation. There is an incentive to make your land look nice. What do walls do? Build city wall. Build a wall around the cities for protection. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look at the manual. Wall. I mean, it mentions castle walls. Is that the same as walls, or is that the settlement walls? No, that's Swallow. I know that includes city walls. Build city walls on flat land around your settlements to protect your worshippers. Neither you or your opponent can alter the land a city wall is built on. You can't build on enemy land. Okay, you can't build city walls on enemy land. After you built your first wall, all other walls, city walls must be connected to it. For example, if you build a city wall around one settlement, the next place of wall you lay down must stem from the original wall and extend out to the next settlement you want to surround. The only way to have two separate walled settlements is if your opponent somehow destroys the connector wall between the two. So I see the game there is actually saying, like, put individual walls around put walls around settlements rather than like what I was doing, which is wall off your territory from the enemy. Weak enemies are kept out by city walls, but strong enemies can climb over. If a very strong enemy walker encounters a wall, they can break through it, so don't leave walled settlements unwatched. Oh, okay. So it's more of a, if I have a settlement inside enemy territory, and then I can build a wall around it to protect it, so that I have the ability to modify land inside their territory while my settlement's kind of defended. I suppose maybe that would come into play later on if I can't cast earthquakes in the enemy territory. So I need to have a settlement nearby to be able to cast a spell. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Yep. Okay. Right. What about road? I'm reading the manual currently, I apologize if it's not showing up anything, but... road. Build roads on flat grounds and low slopes for your people to walk on and move. Make them travel faster. Or use them to block the spread of fungus. Roads are laid down one square at a time. Okay, so I suppose they do specifically, like, seek out roads to walk on? Oh, strategies and techniques. Lead your enemies into a swamp. Create roads across enemy territory. Bad worshippers will tend to walk on the roads, so create a swamp at the end of one. Watch bad worshippers drown in the mud. Okay, I mean, that is a interesting tactic. They just like mindlessly walk across the road. Okay, well, I think I'll leave it there, actually. We've had a pretty fun time playing both of the Populous games, though I think I've had more fun playing Populous 2 than Populous 1. So, yeah. I do think Populous 2 holds up better. It's got much more spell effects, as we've seen, and there's more things to do with the terrain. There's a bit more hands-on. Populous 1... There's a game there. It's one of those things where it's neat, but when you play Populous 2, it really doesn't hold up, I don't think. Perhaps the simplicity of it would be appealing, because there's less things for you to do, so it's more specific on what you do and how you do it. Whereas Populous 2, it's easier to sort of overcome maybe not laying out your territory as well as you can just by devastating the enemy with, you know, walls of fire and all that. But yes, when did Populous 2 come out? I suppose like 92, 93 maybe? No. Populous the beginning came out in like 95, I think. Or 96. Yeah, it must have been around then. So, yeah, yeah, I'll probably play more of this on my own. I might do a little stream of Populous 2 every now and then, sort of see where I'm up to and how things are going, rather than doing a full playthrough one after the other. I might just revisit it every now and then, because I think it would be worth it to just to see how things go. I like messing around in it. It's fun to just sort of create the walls, roads, and all that. I say I like to fiddle around with the walls of roads. I do sort of see how it's maybe not exactly necessary. At least at this point. Maybe later on it becomes more necessary to do that, as it limits your tools to be able to do other things. Early on it can get the impression that it's like, oh, well, I can just destroy the opponent by chucking firestorms down and spamming heroes. Maybe that becomes less of a thing later on. Anyway, that will be it for Populous 2. I'd like to thank you very much for joining me for this. And I hope you'll join me for next time when I might do some more of this next time. I don't know when that will be. I'll stop the recording here.